saw the stories yesterday all over the television and the newspapers about the FBI conducting raids Saturday night and Sunday morning in Washtenaw County and in Lenawee County. And we're told also down in Indiana and Ohio, apparently, of a Christian-oriented militia group that is based in Lenawee County. This group is called Hutaree, which stands for Christian Warrior. There was some confusion about all this. Number one, because the charges against these people have been sealed until court today. Apparently a number of arrests were made. And also because of a Hutaree message board where a purported member of that group said the Michigan militia had also been raided. That was her statement. And she said, and the federal authorities have taken over their website, hijacked their website, and placed word there that they were not raided. But the Michigan militia people are all speaking out and saying this has nothing to do with us, and they're trying to disclaim any connection with the raids. Let's talk with a member of the volunteer militia of Southeast Michigan from out in Livingston County, Michael Lockamar, who's on the other end of our line. Hi, Michael.
Good morning. How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right considering everything that's been going on this weekend.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now, did any federal authorities hijack your website?
Absolutely not. Early Sunday morning when I started to get first word that this was going on, initially the media all ran with it was the Michigan militia that was under siege by the FBI. Being as big and as infamous as we are, I felt it necessary to go onto our website at that point and point out that, no, we have not been raided. We do nothing illegal.
All right. Now, this group, Hutaree, do they have any connection with you whatsoever?
None whatsoever. They've trained with us on one, maybe two occasions in the last 5 years, and most of that was just to see how we operate and us to see how they operate. This was before we really knew the depth of who and what they are.
Well, who are they? You know them better than we do, obviously. You've at least had some cursory contact with them.
They are an ultra-religious organization that truly believes that they were sent here to fight alongside Jesus against the forces of Satan.
Against the Antichrist?
Correct.
And do they believe the Antichrist is here already?
They believe that we are in the end times as prophesied by the Bible.
All right, and what's the view of that from within your group, the militia?
Well, we have members from all walks of life, many of which who are not Christian, and just find the whole idea a little bit distasteful.
Now, there was also a story, very briefly I saw this story, that a member of Hutaree had contacted a member of the Michigan militia to ask for help because apparently this crackdown was coming due to threats made against Muslims. What do you know about this?
This is all stuff that we're hearing from other sources that our members are hearing from media outlets and from other militia units, which we're not certain yet if they're getting it firsthand or if they're getting it from media outlets. However, what I can tell you is that members of the Hutaree did approach a team leader for one of our sister units and asked for help, and they did not receive that help.
And why was that, do you know?
Well, he encouraged the person to turn themselves in, to do the right thing so that nobody got hurt. And the response he got from them is, well, that's not going to happen, and he left. And so the raids went on, and a number of people were arrested. It sounds as if you excuse me for saying so, Michael, that the Michigan militia, the voluntary militia here in southeastern Michigan, always kept this group at an arm's length, this Hutaree group. You really thought they were over the top a little bit. We did, but, you know, as is our usual practice, we're not in the habit of mudslinging, so any issues we had, we dealt within our unit and between the two units. We didn't see the need at that time to really raise any red flags that, hey, there might be a problem.
Do you have any idea why they were raided?
If I had to guess, that kind of force coming down on somebody, it would have to be for threats or illegal weapons. If it was just a matter of taxes or of rhetoric somewhere, they would not have brought that kind of force in to conduct these raids.
You know, how does it reflect this kind of activity, and if it's proven that there were threats or whatever they did wrong, we'll find out in court today. But how does a situation like this reflect on your group, do you feel?
We've battled really hard over the last 15 years to rebuild our reputation after the erroneous reports that circulated after Oklahoma City. Since then, we've had good press, we've had bad press, but this is going to do a lot to set back what we're trying to do. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to let the people know that in times of emergency, we're here to assist the communities. We're not here to take over the communities. We're here to help people to be safe and to be prepared in case of an emergency, in case of a disaster.
Do you think you're viewed differently out of Washington now, though, because we've had all these statements that the biggest threat to our country comes from within? This comes right out of Homeland Security and Janet Napolitano. Do you think that you're viewed differently now?
We're viewed differently only because there's a different administration in place. Every administration, whether they're left or right, seems to have a particular area of interest they focus on. And this one just happens to be on internal dissidents, if it were.
Yeah, and loses sight, it sounds, of what your ultimate goals are, which are not a takeover of the country.
No, our ultimate goal is, to be able to live my life and go home to my family without having to worry about A, government interference, or B, a tornado coming through and mass looting afterwards.
All right, and finally, give me a summation of your feelings regarding Hutaree, and if this raid by the government and any subsequent charges were to take their organization down, disband them. Give me a summation of your view of the effects of that.
Well, what I think is going to happen with the Hutaree is you're probably going to find out it was the group leader and one or two close supporters that were the root of any problem. Most of the people in that group are just followers. What I think will probably happen after they go down is a few of the members will be floating around. You'll have a lot of groups that have been friendly with them screaming and hollering that this is a government cover-up, this is a conspiracy. But ultimately what it's going to do is it's going to strengthen our movement by putting the focus back where it needs to be.
Is it almost a good riddance feeling regarding that?
I wouldn't say so. I hate to see anybody put into that position, especially for the innocent members of the group and their family.
Understood. Michael, really appreciate the time. Thanks so much for talking with us. Good luck.
Thank you, Frank.
Michael Lockamar, the Livingston County team leader for the Southeast Michigan Volunteer Militia, keeping Hutaree at an arm's length. More of the Beckman Show coming up in a moment. The man who wants to debate John Dingell.